Okay, what I'm going to do here is find out if there's an external short and ohms test also at the same time. The way I'm going to do that is getting underneath this vehicle and over here is where the plugs are. Let me see if I can get some light here. Okay. Here is the transmission, and the transmission wire harness is there. Y'all see that? It's hard to see, but the transmission wire harness is there. So, see if I can get y'all to see this, because it's kind of hard under here. Okay, let me see here. It's hard to get over there, get the camera there. But the harness is over here. So, what I want to do, hopefully y'all can see that. The plug is there, right here. I'm going to take this plug off. Okay. Disconnect this plug. Okay, let me get my hand over there. Now, the plug is disconnected. Okay. So this is the plug here, and I want to disconnect. Alright. This is the transmission wire harness. Goes right to the controls, to the shift solenoids, everything. Now I'm going to disconnect that plug. The reason I'm going to do that, sorry, turn the light out. The reason I'm going to do this is I want to go up to the computer and see if it's being grounded externally, if the wire is touching something, an external ground. So I'm going to do that with the meter by doing a continuity test. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, let's see. Now, we're going to get from underneath here. We're going to go over here to the computer. Okay, what you got to do is come up to the front of the car and find the computer, which is on this one, is right next to the battery down to the side, and take this cover off. Let me cover it the way. The computer is right here. It has some clips on there, so you have to take that computer out of there. What we're doing, we're going to access the connectors right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this computer off, take this computer out. Now, I had to do this and then get the camera. But what you do, you have to lift this part up. Get that up. You may have to stick a screwdriver underneath here and then pull this part up and pull this computer out. Okay. And we get it. Working with one hand here. got the computer. We had to pull it up through all of these wires and get it out here. Now, next step is to figure out which one of these is the computer's wire that controls that 2-3 shift solenoid. So we're going to take this off, and if you don't know, then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so let's get to taking these off here, these connectors off here. Okay, now we have taken these connectors. It's a red one and there's a blue one connector from out of the computer. Here's the PCM. Set the PCM right over here to the side here. Now what you want to do is go to the wire diagram. And on the wire diagram at the computer is number 47, which is a yellow. Here's the wire diagram, the transmission wire diagram, a yellow with a black stripe, and it's on pin number 47. Okay, so you want to go here to pin number 47. Okay, so what you're looking at, or for, is number 47, which is 49. You got 45. Next one over 46 and 47 would be this one right here. And the next one will be 48, would be a light green. So you want to make sure that it's the right connector, because you may have two of the same. So you got 48, which is that one in green, and then beside it, it's 49, 50, and 51 is another yellow with a black stripe. So the reason I go and look for another wire is to see if this is the right connector and see if it matches up with the diagram. So another yellow with a black wire is the transmission fluid temperature sensor signal, and I see it at 51, which is right there. You can see it there. So I'm going right back to this one, it's right here. That one right there. So what we're going to do is flip this over, and we're going to find out where it is here. So you got 41, 42.
Hey, Billy.
You have 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. So it starts at 41 right there. So we start our counting at 41 right here. Okay, so let's get to that. Okay, so I counted from there up to here, and I have a safety pin in there. Now, you do not want something that's going to spread those terminals open, because you'll have bad connection.
Get back that in and start putting the trans in. This guy wants to
so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my meter, touch my meter lead to this safety pin. Hope you all can see that. Lay this down somewhere. Okay, and I'm going to use this meter here. I'm going to put the meter on, set it to the ohms, and I'm going to turn on the alert. Reason is I want to see if there's going to be continuity. If I touch these two together, hold on just a minute. If I touch these two leads together, these two leads here, there should be a noise or a beep. You should hear that beep, that audio beep. Okay, that's what these two leads touch together. Take them out. Now, what I'm expecting to hear, if the wire is grounded somewhere on this vehicle, an audible beep. You take one of the leads and you put it on this safety pin, and then take the other leads and put it to your battery ground. Okay. Remember, at the bottom I disconnected it, so I'm touching this wire here. And guess what? Let me count back again. This starts at 41, 42. Hold on. Boy, is this rough here with one hand. I got to. So you got 41, 42, 43, 44, 47. So it belongs in here. Now, if this was grounded, it would be beeping. Okay, it would be, because I'm touching the ground here, it would be beeping. And right now, it's not. I could touch any ground. Let me touch the alternator. Just in case there's a bad connection at the battery, and there is no beep. Okay, so this wire is not touching ground. It's not touching ground at all. So there's no touching ground on top of the frame. So this is okay. So we know the wiring going from the computer down to the connector, it's okay. And the reason we know is, one, current is flowing on in current in first gear, and it's flowing in second gear because the solenoids are on in first and second. So the computer is actually turning it on.
Go this way. Go this way. Go this way.
However, when it's time to disconnect, the computer is not turning it off. So what do we do? Next step. What is it that we know so far? Well, we know that the wiring from the computer down to the connector is good. Why? Because In first and second gear, the solenoid is on and it is working. Only when the computer tries to command the 2-3 solenoid off does it have or see a problem, which means there are two possibilities now. That is, the computer has an internal problem to where when it tries to turn it off, it can't because it's not doing what it thinks it's doing, or there's a problem inside the transmission, being the wire harness inside the transmission is shorted to ground, or the solenoid itself has an internal short. So the next step now is to hook that connector back to the transmission and do an ohms test so that we can see if it is ohming properly. So let's go that route. So we're getting right back to this connector here, and we're going to hook this connector back up. Alright, so the next step, what you want to do is put a pin inside the 47. Anyway, hold on just a minute. I'm going to count and put it in the number 47 hole. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. It's actually 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Okay? And you want to put it on ohms. I'll show you. That's how you want to put it here. And you want to take your meter. Where you can go around. And you want to access the fuse panel, which is on the left side. Take that fuse panel off. And what you want to get to is the ignition O fuse, which would be this one here. You can look right here on your thing right here. You look on the fuse block information, and you see the ignition O fuse is a 10 amp fuse. Beside is the 25 and a 10 amp brake fuse. So you go right here and you have the 10 amp, 25, and 10. So it's on this side here. You find it, you pull it out. I'm gonna use these things. These don't work well, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use needle nose pliers. Oh, got it. So you pull that out. Then you take your other end of your meter. Let me show you. First, you set it to ohms. Which is right here. Okay, your ohms. Then you take the pin and you put it touch it to both sides, so in case you touch it to the wrong side, but the side for this car, for this vehicle, is right here. So you touch it and then you look at your meter and it says 0. And remember, it's connected down there, so it says 0 ohms. Okay, I'm touching it. It should show 20 something ohms, but it's showing 0 ohms. So that means it could have an internal short in the solenoid itself. So to To verify that we're on the signal, we're going to keep this here. And keep that inside. Then we're going to go over here. And we're going to put this into the next solenoid, which would be 1 and 2.